Hello, Brad here, just to say we're super proud that the Friday 5pm podcast is sponsored by the Malt Miller, the UK's best home brew store.
We use the Malt Miller for all of our homebrew experiments, as well as tapping them up for advice and binging on their awesome YouTube channel all the time.
That's why whenever we release a homebrew video, we put a recipe kit live on the Malt Miller, so you can brew with the exact same amazing ingredients that we did. The same ingredients used by pro brewers.
So alongside the Malt Miller's nitro-flushed hops, cold-stored yeast and milled-to-order malts, you can pick up recipe kits for our 5 Points Best Bitter, Russian River West Coast IPA, and now the fastest beer in the world, a hazy session IPA that goes from grain to glass in less than 48 hours.
Sign up to their newsletter at tinyurl.com/Malt Miller to get 5% off your first order. With the Malt Miller's amazing customer service and Johnny's 48-hour recipe, you could order the ingredients on a Monday and be drinking the beer by the weekend.
Speaking of which, it's Friday.
It's 5pm.
So enjoy this week's Friday 5pm podcast. Well, Bradley, I think we can safely say it's outdoor beer fridge weather.
Mate, it's absolutely frosty, isn't it? It's definitely now feels like Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry goddamn Christmas, yeah. The snow has fallen all around us, and as far as I can tell, it's going to be 14 degrees on Monday, so it's all going to be gone in time for the actual big day.
14 degrees?
14 degrees on Monday, mate. This is the global heating world we're living in. We're going to go from, it was -9 when I de-iced the car this morning.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And by Monday, it's going to be 14 degrees.
It's like we're living on Mars or something with sort of crazy.
You often holiday in Mars and get annoyed at the weather?
Yeah, I reckon so. I haven't ever holidayed in Mars. Only in my dreams.
The worst thing about
Johnny,
Mars holidays is you get red dust in your sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Total Recall when he says, "Get your ass to Mars"? And then Arnie's sort of eyes nearly pop out of his head. Great special effects in that film from back in the day. It was
ahead of its time in so many ways.
Oh, so many ways. I saw a Christmas movie last night, Johnny. It was sold to me as being a cross between Die Hard, my all-time favourite Christmas movie, and Home Alone, a very, very well liked Christmas movie.
What is a mix of that? Like kids killing each other?
Pretty
much.
What
is this film? Oh
Johnny,
my God.
Santa killing people, Johnny.
Oh my God.
In a Die Hard sort of capacity. It's called Violent Night, and it's got
I have heard
David Harbour playing Santa. He's like a sort of he's got like a man bod in it. No, what do you call it? Dad bod, sorry. Dad bod, like I'm rocking these days. But yeah, he's got like a sort of, slightly chubby dad bod, and he's covered in sort of runic tattoos. And he's got a man bun, and he is Santa Claus, Old Saint Nick, and he goes.
You mean
kills...
he literally is, or like he's dressed like he's like at the war?
Yeah. Well, at one point he gets he kind of gets hurt in a knife fight, very much like in sort of a Die Hard film, and you see him tending to his wounds.
When was the knife fight in Home Alone?
No knife fights in Home Alone, but you see him tending his wounds, so he gets his belly out. And as he does that, you see all these like runic sort of tattoos all over him, and yeah, he's like hemorrhaging blood out of a wound. But yeah, he's absolutely mullers about 30 sort of special forces type characters that are trying to rob some rich people.
Why is Santa protecting rich people?
Good question, Johnny. This made the flaw was fundamentally. Sorry, the film was fundamentally flawed because I cared very little about the poor rich people that were under attack by Thingy Legazamo, whatever his name is, who was trying to steal all of their money from their very, very big vault in their very, very big house. The only person I cared about was one of the security guards that got hurt. That was it, Johnny. So, it was a massively flawed film. There was some incredibly gory.
I feel like Die Hard is more Christmassy. At least that's at a Christmas party.
It had so much heart, Die Hard. It's why it's a perfect movie. This had very, very little heart. and very little motivation for me to sort of like or care about any of the characters.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, but I went to see it in an old Victorian cinema. I'm in Margate at the moment, so yeah, it was a lovely place. My girlfriend Kirsty didn't want to go and see it. She predicted it would be crap, but I dragged her out anyway, and bought the biggest popcorn they sold, and we didn't get anywhere near touching the sides of the popcorn. But the cinema tickets, Johnny, how much do you reckon a cinema ticket is in the Carlton Cinema in Westgate? It's a beautiful Victorian cinema. Have a guess.
£3.50.
It's £3.50. Have I told you this before?
No. This is one of the rare occasions on the Friday 5 PM where you haven't told the story before.
Oh, they've put their prices down during the global pandemic because the lovely owners and obviously the cost of living crisis. The lovely owners of this cinema have said that they think people have the right to cinema, however much or little money you've got. They want to make it affordable that you can at least have one fun night out a week or whatever. £3.50 cinema tickets, mate. Beautiful stuff. Love that.
Spirit just got to get the high-speed train to Margate that costs about £400.
Oh yeah. But there's lots of little independent cinemas all over the place that are keeping it going somehow. And that's the thing, right? We've got to support all the little guys, all the bottle shops, all the independent pubs and breweries.
Oh yeah, they don't have the deep pockets to get through these things. I did a tweet yesterday because we've hit the sad number of 52 breweries closing this year, which means one a day. And in fact, there was one after that.
One
yesterday.
a week.
Sorry, one a week. Good Lord, that's bad maths. So I did a tweet sort of just asking breweries to chip in and say, what people can do. Because what's really needed is fundamental change on a government level in terms of the policies that are being put out there, the tax that's being charged, the duty that's being charged, the corrupt tied house system, and the lack of access to market to small startups in this industry. But in the meantime, while we fix those inherent problems that have been there since the 80s, I wanted to know what we could do. And it turns out there's not a lot. But actually, one of the main things that came back from breweries is, don't worry too much about us in December. Buy gifts from us, buy gift vouchers, obviously buy your beer, go to pubs, buy our beer there. Lots of them said, don't do dry January, do it another time of the year. If dry January was in June, then it wouldn't be such an issue because lots of beer is drunk in June and you're not... because breweries don't have deep pockets, you could send them under. You could send a successful business under in January. And dry January, it will be a bloodbath in January of brewery closures. But it's just a terrible time after Christmas for people to go sober.
So basically...
Not saying they shouldn't go sober for a month, just saying January's a terrible time for it.
We need...
And lots of these breweries are just like, please do it another time of the year because that's when we need your support most. And a little bit of that's on the brewery as well, like make low alcohol beer. All the information's out there for you to be able to do so. But equally, dry January is poorly timed.
Dry January it is then, Johnny, going forward.
Dry
January. Is June in summer or is that in... It is summer, isn't it? June? Is that summer month?
Summer starts mid-June, doesn't it? It is, the 22nd or something is the solstice, and that's summer from then on, I think.
That's the thing, isn't it? People are just like, they just want a beer in the summertime when it's in January.
Yeah, it's easy to hunker down in January and just be like, well, I'm not going to go out and all this kind of stuff. But actually, if we're serious about supporting small independents, even do it in February. Just defer it 1 month because honestly, if you look at the takings for January in pubs, in bottle shops, and from breweries, it is a cliff edge that they fall off in December. And you should think that the cash, lots of people are like, oh well, they make lots of money in December, and that might be true of the bottle shops and the pubs. It's definitely not true of the breweries because the breweries are on 30-day terms, so they won't be paid for the beer they sold until probably the end of January. So it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, scary stuff. Well, that's
anyway. You didn't mean to help me up on my high horse, but I got there.
No. I was trying to meander through to your tweet about that supporting.
Oh,
so
well,
yeah.
It was a segue so smooth.
Yeah, you didn't even notice. That's how good I'm getting these days.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice, man. Beautiful.
We've got some quick announcements to make.
Yes,
before we plough on. So the first thing is, this weekend I am, if the trains can get me there, running the tastings at the London Christmas Beer Festival, which is just like London Craft Beer Festival, same venue, same people, lots of the same breweries. Excitingly, Dom Subs, who I think make incredible sandwiches. So that's how I'm going to be fueling myself for the weekend. I'm running tastings all weekend there. So if you haven't got tickets, there's still tickets available, and you can come down and have a very festive and slightly drunken start to the Christmas season there. There's some amazing breweries, some amazing food venues, lots of like shops and stalls and crafts and stuff. It's not a full-on beer festival. It's like I don't know. It's a beer festival with crafty stalls attached and even more food.
I looked at I can't make it sadly, but I looked at the brewery list is great as always. And as you said, like with all of the added food stuff that's going on there, I believe there's aren't there craft stalls and like makers and sellers and things like that? I'm sure. I saw Greg
absolutely. So
about
the idea is you can go drink some beers, pick up some gifts for yourself or for other people, have some nice food, get in the festive spirit, and obviously visit me and buy the books that I'll be selling, the books and the teas, and do a tasting with us. We've got, most excitingly, we've got Siren's. Siren, they didn't do Caribbean Chocolate Cake this year, which is like their big sort of Christmassy stout release. Instead, they've done a series of 3 collaborations in which they've made giant pastry stouts, like coffee ones, chocolate ones, vanilla ones, and they are absolutely stellar and very much in the Omnipollo, like finishing gravities higher than most people start their brewing at. So it's big, rich, thick silliness, and I'll be doing a tasting of that I'm very excited about.
Wow. Is it the normal style where you pay your ticket entry and then you get unlimited drinks, or is it like a different format for the Christmas?
Yeah, for the beer it's unlimited. For the craft stalls and the food you still pay. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I always think
it's a good little deal.
It's a good deal, isn't it? It's a good deal, and I think if you're gonna sort of maybe meet your friends for a Christmas drink, I can't think of a better place to be doing that than that kind of
than a Johnny Garrett tasting at LCBF.
Well, a smorgasbord of offerings at LCBF. I'm very upset I can't go, but hey, it's all good. I'm going on a Santa steam train with my family.
Well, we'll get into the Christmas plans. Just the other announcement is our Christmas live show.
Yeah.
Which is on the 22nd of December at 8 p.m. Thursday. You've only got one day of work left, so there's no excuse. We know that day is going to be a write-off. So join us at 8 p.m. on YouTube for a festive tasting with the amazing Brew York, who put together an incredible pack of very exciting lactose-heavy beers that are all festively themed. Well, even the cold IPA, I guess, to some extent. So we'll have a brewery tour and a tasting with them and be chatting nonsense and taking your questions. So even if you don't get the pack, but you can get the pack at the link in the show notes, do join us. I have to announce that we have actually sold out of the original pack, Bradley.
Boom.
So they've made a substitution of the one beer that went out of stock to fill that pack up again. And we'll be tasting through it on the night, but some people have slightly different beers to other people, but not to us. We'll have all the beers.
My beers haven't arrived, Johnny. Does that mean I won't have the correct beers? Oh dear.
Santa's going to be bringing it on the day.
On a day.
It's going to be a Christmas miracle. Yeah, Christmas miracle. Last minute. It doesn't need to go in the fridge because it'll be cold already. You know how we do these things. Last minute.
I hope it's not on the day, Johnny, because those ones are always very stressful when the beer doesn't arrive until.
Don't lift the curtain for these nightmare scenarios we always put ourselves into. You will get all of the beers, Bradley, including the one that you should have had, and indeed the replacement. And we'll get the replacement so we can talk people through it. But the replacement is plum cake, which sounds delicious.
That sounds incredible. Plum cake.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. So it's not like people are losing out here.
Can you say you'll get all of the beers in a Santa voice, please, Johnny?
You'll get all of the beers, Bradley. Ho, 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 ho.
Thank you, Santa. Beer-giving Santa. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. Oh.
This is some stellar acting. Reminds me we might need to update the advert we have from our wonderful sponsors, Malt Miller. I think our acting's improved. And yes, still no plans for those wooden barrels, folks, but we will get around to it. So those are the announcements. Tell me, Bradley, about this Santa train that you're going on.
Yeah, so it seems to be a bit of a thing I do every year now with my my sister, my mum, my sister's kids. She's got 3 children now, Johnny. So many children.
That's a lot of children.
A clutch. I don't know what you call a gaggle.
It's a nightmare, Bradley. It's a nightmare of children.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a large amount of small people, and we're all gonna fit into. She rents one of a carriage in the steam train thing in Tenterton, and Santa comes on it, and he gives presents to little kids, and we all get a mince pie, and I think they let me buy beer on there, although I'm driving, so I can only have 1 beer. And it's bloody freezing, and all of the windows steam up massively, so you almost can't see what's going on out of the window. And my sister dresses all the kids up in crazy Christmas outfits, and we struggle to get there because it's like right in the middle of the countryside. Last year I went.
It started
all the roads
so
were
idyllic,
flooded.
and you're slowly dismantling the Christmas dream.
The roads were flooded last year. I went in the Lupo, and I felt like I was on like a sort of snowy safari. There were trees. I swear there were trees in the road last year, and it was mental. It was just like total Floodsville.
Are you not going to go on your new electric bike?
I don't think the mileage is up to 40 miles, Johnny. With pedal assist,
I remember
so
now. Yeah.
I don't think we'll make it there, and we might be a bit crispy cringly by the time we get there because it's very, very cold. Yes, but I've been out a little bit on it. I actually got Kirsty to ride on the back of it the other day, which was exciting.
There you go.
So yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Maybe I'll dress up in a Santa outfit and ride around on it. Yes. That'd be good, wouldn't it? It is all black though, so it doesn't look very Christmassy. Maybe I'll sort of hit the high
Just bit of tinsel, mate, like we did in our Christmas videos.
Yeah.
That's all you need, unless you get stuck in the spokes.
Tinsel decoration, 2 bits of tinsel.
Somebody did comment like, "Was the budget cut for decorations this year?" And I was like, "There's never been a budget or any kind of." Well, actually, one year you brought some kind of weird light that we ended up having to hide behind the sofa.
That was just my light. I don't think we bought that for that. That was my light, wasn't it?
No, it was at my house. We shot that one. You brought like some blinky, different colory light.
Yeah, that was mine.
That would have been 20.
I didn't buy that on the budget. I don't believe. I don't think that was in the budget.
I think.
Yeah. I think I just bought
you wouldn't have bought it
disco
specially.
lighting. What are you doing for Christmas, Johnny? That's what I'm doing this weekend. That is what I'm doing for Christmas, but I guess it is pretty Christmassy.
I mean, I'm hoping that your Christmas day is going to be the same as last year, where you made a quick Christmas shout out on our Instagram in which you dangled a baby Michael Jackson star while drinking beer from a horn on a beach.
That was pretty good.
I'm assuming that's another tradition.
Well, I've already thrown the plastic horn away, Johnny, and that baby is now too big to dangle. But do you know what? There's a new baby, so I could potentially dangle a new baby. There's a new Christmas baby.
I can't wait for the Christmas dangle video.
It's going to be great. And you know what? I got rid of the plastic Viking horn, but now I've got a plastic Viking beer helmet.
Hey, it's a segue, everybody. A Christmas segue. So this week's video was a follow-up to last year's, in which we did the best Christmas gift gadgets. This year, we did the worst, and somebody came out with a comment. Very disappointed. I wanted good gadgets. Bring back the good gadgets. We were very disappointed in the gadgets too, to be fair to you, except for the cap goo, which I'm looking at right now and thinking, at the start of this podcast, I didn't want to interrupt you mid-flow about whatever that weird film was, but I've just seen, when we were clearing up after that shoot, and we felt like we shot more caps than we could find.
Yeah, we couldn't find them. Yeah.
Yeah, I found a couple in random places in the studio. I've just seen one is literally on top of the camera.
Oh, that's interesting.
A kind of shot we couldn't have done if we tried, but it's sat there on top of the main camera.
How is that not in the video? Presumably it shot directly at the camera. That would have been very exciting footage, Johnny. Although I did appreciate the slow-mo shots of the double. It's like the sort of Cornetto trilogy-esque.
Yeah, we got a comment about that as well. Somebody saying, like, have you ever fired a gun while jumping sideways?
Yeah, man.
Which was
love
good
that.
quote. But yeah, so this week's video was all the worst gadgets, in which we tried out 2 drinking hats, some bottle openers that also fire out the caps, and a beer belt, which isn't quite a gadget, but was, I think, nearly your favourite until I talked you round about the cap goo.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I genuinely think that there are use case scenarios for a beer belt. Mainly sneaking beers into festivals, warm beers into festivals. Unless
I don't
you
think
take
you're going to escape
cooler...
the pat down.
Do you reckon? I'd just
No
be like,
way.
maybe you could put
It's
them
all about
on
a bag of wine in your pants. That's how you do it.
bag of wine in your pants. Interesting. Like a yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. I was going to say something foul, but I won't. So yeah, that works. I think that's a pretty good use case for it. I still think you get away with it somehow. And also, some festivals you are allowed to have beers in.
Well, yes, Glastonbury, of course. You can't take glass in, but you can take cans. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take. I'm sure you can take them in the arenas. So like I said in the video, my arms would be pretty tired if I was to carry them. But putting them
Get yourself a backpack,
amongst your
mate.
midriff.
You know about backpacks?
Yeah, but I feel like backpacks are, like, what do you really need at a festival apart from 6 beers in a belt and maybe a mobile phone? But they never work at festivals anyway.
Maybe
So
a waterproof?
I'd argue no. I'd argue that you don't need a backpack. What wipes? Butt wipes. What did you say? What
I
wipes?
said hand wipes, but I was alluding to issues similar
Butt
to
wipes.
that. Yes. Thank you for taking that to its Christmassy conclusion. Shall we dig into the comments of this week's video?
Go on then.
What?
Let's do it.
Give me your festive favourite.
Yeah, so it's lowbrow. Welcome to lowbrow, everybody. These are lowbrow comments. This year it's the naughty. We're on the naughty list, so they're all shitty gadgets. JS found directions. JS 4 directions. Sorry, he said. What a fun episode. As much as I love the nerdy in-depth chats about beer, I also enjoy both of your personalities and the more relaxed and goofy format today. Cheers to another year of the Beer Channel. Much love from Canada. Thank you, JS.
Thank you very much.
Love that. I think it's nice. I mean, it was, as we said, the silliest video we've ever made.
Very much so.
And a laptop was nearly harmed in the making of it several times. Is the laptop all
I
right?
think it probably was harmed.
Well, they're pretty much waterproof these days, but yeah, they had some splashback on it for sure. Unavoidable though, but
I'd argue quite a lot of that was avoidable because I don't think I splashed anything on the laptop. I think I avoided it.
I was the QVC model though for a lot of it, wasn't I? I was the one demoing stuff initially. Maybe that's my excuse.
Right. Right. And any other comments?
There are loads of comments. I'm trying not to pick out ones that are just totally ridiculous. Have you got any comments, Johnny?
Oh, yeah. I've got Tench Man. He's back.
Oh, go on, give us a bit of Tench.
He says, who buys this tat? Oh, right, that's you. It just encourages them to make more. But then, that's critical. He's probably right. But then he says, great stuff. More, please. So I don't really know quite where the Tench sits on this.
No, I like it. It's very much like telling you off and then saying, no, keep going.
The bane and the bliss, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Richard Brown said that he looked on Amazon Australia for a Cap Goo equivalent, and it cost £32, which is
you'd want the mother of all springs for £32.
I mean, that is insane. Those things are, like you said, very much like an amazing cracker toy, and you wouldn't want to pay over £8.50 or whatever they cost.
I don't think I wanted to pay that.
Yes. Someone has suggested, Michael Anderson said, silly and entertaining as any good British show should be. We're now a British show, Johnny.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I like it. If only it had ended with Brad chasing Johnny with two cap guns to the theme of Benny Hill. I'm not sure why I would be chasing you. I guess I'm just trying to fire things at you, very, very low power cap gun. things.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be running away. It didn't really hurt. In my head, it would be more like the German kid in The Simpsons that goes, "Don't chase me, I'm full of chocolate." But I'd have been full of Belgian quads. I got a comment. Dr. Sam says, "Oh my word, I laughed so much at this that I brought back my post-COVID cough." So,
nice.
Sorry, Dr. Sam. I guess you don't laugh at Christmas, and then you'll be all right again.
Yeah, don't laugh at Christmas. I'll tell you what, if you don't want to laugh at Christmas, go and watch Violet Night. Go and watch Violet Night.
Right, okay.
It's crap. Talking of crap,
tip.
Ninja Monkey Prime, he's what do you call it? He's like marked the time code of something I say in the video, which is Charlie Sheen would like Dragon Milk, I reckon. And
I didn't get that one. What's that a reference to?
You know when Charlie Sheen, well, I was going to say when he went crazy, but he's always been crazy. But when he was going on about Tiger Milk and all this crazy stuff, do you remember Tiger Milk?
Yes.
And and there was that amazing, I think they're called Shlomo or something. These guys that would like cut up video clips, and then set it to bang-in tunes. And they did this Charlie Sheen Tiger Blood music video thing, which was incredibly funny. So yeah, Dragon Milk, I reckon is like maybe his second favourite drink after Tiger Blood.
All right, there you go. I mean, it is delicious. It's very good imperial stout, Dragon's Milk.
Yeah. Kirsty, actually, when I watched the video with my girlfriend, and at that point when I had the Dragon Milk, she noticed that your eyes were fixed on the Dragon Milk because you was terrified that I was going to break it. So
you reckon?
Yeah. She reckons you're fixed on wherever that bottle is because I'm an idiot and I like dropping things.
Well, I mean, I was nervous about you dropping things. You are a bit of a klutz. But, I mean, while that is a precious and delicious beer, it is more that it's a very black, sticky, dark beer.
Yes. That would have made a right mess.
It would have been the end of the studio had that gone down, which you don't have to worry about so much with cans.
Yeah, I remember as a teenager, I had a 2-litre bottle of Coke in my bedroom, and my girlfriend, I blame my girlfriend at the time, she dropped the bottle on the floor, the lid wasn't on properly, and it like literally did that sort of Mentos thing where it exploded. It went everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the walls, everywhere. That was grim. So you don't want exploding drinks in any confined spaces.
That must have been quite the cascade.
It was mental. Justin A. Johnny said, "Merchandise, take my money. I want a shirt." I think they're really great t-shirt designs, the lowbrow ones. So double-sided prints. You've got your kind of the classic lowbrow tee with the tagline on the back, tech cheats for beer geeks, and then you've got that's a sort of like rock and roll looking one, and then you've got your kind of Dunkin' Donuts in sort of inspired-y one that you were rocking, which has got the Crispy Boy rating system on the back. So they are both available on our Teespring site merch store, as well as all of the other beautiful t-shirts we've done. You've got one on there, haven't you? You've got one.
I'll link to that.
What's your one? Your one says bright. What is it? Go on. What's your one again? Sorry.
Mine's a Friday Night Lights reference that says clear IPAs, full hearts can't lose.
Nice.
Which is a pun on clear eyes, full hearts can't lose.
Great stuff. Mate, I had so much fun making this video. It was totally stupid, but I think I hope lots of people watch it. I really, really do, because I think there's a lot of fun to be had with the sort of silliness
the fun
of this.
bears out, Bradley. I as always, I love digging into the analytics, and the average view length is way up.
Oh, that's great. That's great news to hear.
Which should, according to YouTube folklore, mean that we should get significantly more people. It should be served to significantly more people, because YouTube should be like, "Hey, this is a good video." Hasn't panned out that way, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe YouTube doesn't like Amazon Tat, and it's suppressing us.
Well,
a little
look,
Christmas
man,
conspiracy for you.
Jim Brennan said this, which is good. I'd never seen a funny video from the Craft Beer channel before. There have been some fun. I know, ouch, right? There have been some funny moments, yes, but this is hilarious. Great stuff, lads. I think it's pretty hilarious. I wonder what other hilarity was cut out on the chopping room floor. But I mean, it was already pretty long, right? It's like there's 24 minutes of madness. So
you know what, the edit is quite tight. A lot of the stuff that went needed to go because it's always a fine line. And I used to live with two comedians, so I was always being told about these kind of things that you've got to understand what's funny to you and what's funny to the audience are often very different things. So there's lots of moments that we were in hysterics where I was just like, I just don't think that's going to translate, or maybe we're laughing because of we know each other so well. It's a bit of an inside kind of gag. So there probably is some gold that had to go, but mostly the hard to believe as it is, the good stuff got in.
We actually filmed another gadget, didn't we, Johnny? But it got cut. Do we want to talk about that, or is it too irresponsible?
Yeah, we can talk about it, and we can talk about why we cut it. Yeah.
So we filmed. It's called a beer snorkel, and it basically allows you to sort of luge a beer in about, what would you say, 2 seconds or something. That was the first time I've ever used one, and I mean it's just a
strawpedo, basically, just an over-engineered strawpedo. Yeah.
It's an over-engineered strawpedo that's made out of sort of silicon. Silicon? Is that what you call it? Like a rubbery silicon stuff.
Probably rubbery bits. Yeah.
I feel like it's probably not food grade silicon. It was pretty cheap. But it's, or maybe latex. I don't know. It's like fleshy almost. And you put it over the top of your bottle. It has two sort of straw bits. One, it allows the sort of pressure to be released, and you just sort of down a beer like instantly. It's incredibly irresponsible. It made it incredibly easy to do. And I think you get really fucked up if you drank more than 2 or 3 of them in any sort of quick order. So we kind of poo-pooed it in the end, didn't we? Really? But
yeah, I mean, it was very effective as a gadget, but we didn't think that we didn't want to be encouraging that kind of drinking. We didn't think that it was quite in the spirit of the other gadgets. And also it just wasn't as funny as the other bits, It was, I think, partly because the gadget worked, which was definitely not the case with the, the other 3. No. It could have been a normal lowbrow episode if it had any merit whatsoever. So so that's just an example of the bad stuff that got cut. But if you want a strawpedo, they do have them on Amazon. They literally have everything. It is the corner hardware store of the internet, essentially. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this week. It is the last Friday 5 p.m. of the year. I didn't want to tell you that up front because it would have put a lot of pressure on what we were about to talk about, and I didn't know whether we had it in us. But yeah, there won't be one next week because it's Christmas Eve, which I don't know about you guys. I celebrate in my house. And then we're taking a week off, and we'll be back again in January starting with our big in 2023 episode, which I think is a cracker this year. I'm halfway through editing it, and it's full of insight. I tell you,
beautiful.
Nearly as much insight as this week's video.
As long as it's the year of log, Johnny, then we're all going to be happy, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So join us. Join us for our last episode of the year, our last YouTube episode on Wednesday, which is our Christmas spectacular, and then we have our live show on the Thursday at 8 p.m. Bring beer, bring crisps, bring mince pies. It will be great fun, and then we'll see you in the new year. But that's it from Friday 5 p.m. in 2022. It's been a horrible year, but I hope this has brought you some joy every Friday. It's only brought us some joy. And we hope it will continue to do so in 2023, which I'm sure will be great. I'm sure it'll be a great year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Thanks for sticking with us this year. Special thanks goes out to our Patreons. We wouldn't be able to do this without you.
And our sponsor, Malt Miller.
Malt Miller as well. We love everybody. Increase the peace is all I've got to say. and maybe lay off the dragon milk. It sounds a bit aggressive. Drink some normal milk like Santa. And if you can't drink milk because you're a vegan or because you're lactose intolerant, drink a nut milk. There are other milks available.
This one's got away from you, Bradley.
Whatever you're drinking this Christmas, drink milk. Maybe a milk stout. Just milk, Johnny. Milk.
By the way, when we come back next year, it'll be a milk podcast.
Oh, can't wait.
No nut milks because my daughter's allergic to nuts, but because she can't have oat milk, she's allergic to that. Why are we talking about milk? Coconut milk in this house. Bradley, damn you. Love and beer. See you on Thursday for the live show. Goodbye now. The Bubble and Friday 5pm podcasts are brought to you by the nerds behind YouTube's craft beer channel. You can watch over 400 mini documentaries at youtube.com/the craft beer channel. And if you love what we do, support us via Patreon and get access to merchandise and our amazing Discord forum, a positive and welcoming space for everyone who loves beer, food and homebrewing. Love and beer.